Hello all of you. In the previous lecture we studied box topology and product topology. Now in this lecture we define the collection, what type of collection forms a product topology, which topology is finer and so on. Now see the question number 1, that is we have to prove that the collection, this product of B alpha for every alpha forms a basis for that product topology. Now clearly we see that this notation is for product topology when J is, what is J? J is a finite collection, but here J is an index family, then this collection denotes the basis for box topology. So where B alpha belongs to curly B alpha is a basis for X alpha, and let W be an open set in box topology, and a point product of X alpha belongs to W, since from the definition of W of box topology there is a basis element product of U alpha such that this product it contains in that product of U alpha which is a subset of W, because B alpha is a basis of X alpha. So we can choose an element B alpha from that collection such that X alpha it is belongs to B alpha, it is contained in U alpha for every alpha. So this implies product of X alpha belongs to the curly collection, that is product of B alpha which is contained in W, hence our result is done. That is, it is enough to prove that by using the lemma of 13.2 on page number 96. Now see the example number 2, we with the open set and product of X alpha in product topology. The product topology it is generated by the collection of subbases as we already defined from the definition. Then what are the bases for the product topology? That basis B is equals to product of union of product of U alpha. Alpha belongs to index family. This U alpha denotes the entire space in X alpha if alpha is different from beta 1, beta 2, beta 3 and beta n. Then that basis is nothing but collection of that product of the basis element B alpha, where B alpha denotes the entire space for alpha different from beta 1, beta 2, beta 3 up to beta n. And on the same way we prove that this collection forms a basis for this product topology. Therefore this collection product of B alpha, where B alpha equals to X alpha for all but finitely many alpha, forms a basis for the product topology. Now on the same way we consider the second example, that is in terms of box topology on product of X alpha. Now consider a box topology on product of X alpha, then product of U alpha generated the basis element for that box topology, where U alpha is open in X alpha and the product of U alpha intersection product of A alpha is the general basis. Then for such a basis, the subspace topology on product of A alpha satisfy the criteria for that intersection, since U alpha intersection A alpha are the general open set for the subspace topology on A alpha. And from the definition of subspace topology, these sets are open. So these sets are the elements of basis for the box topology. So product of U alpha intersection A alpha forms a basis element for the box topology on product of A alpha. That is subspace topology on product of A alpha and the box topology on product of A alpha gives the same basis collection. Therefore these two topologies are same. On the same way we same thing is done for product topology. That is, we say that or we prove that the subspace topology on product of A alpha and the product topology are on product of A alpha are same. The result is same. So consider the third example. In box topology product of X alpha, we define a box topology on product of X alpha. Suppose that we have the two distinct points, say product of X alpha and product of Y alpha. Then these two points are not equal points. Then for alpha belongs to index family, we say that alpha equals to beta, such that X beta and Y beta are different. Now from the definition, X beta is Hausdorff space if and only if what is the definition of Hausdorff space? There exists a disjoint neighborhoods of that elements. So if X beta is Hausdorff, then there exist U and V are open sets in X beta such that the element X beta belongs to U, element Y beta belongs to V, and U intersection V are empty set. Now taking the collection of open sets, say product of U alpha, product of V alpha, such that this collection, these two are the element of that product topology. Whenever alpha equals to beta, we have U beta, it is U, V beta equals to V. Then the intersection, it is empty, and this satisfy the collection of that is the open set having the disjoint neighborhood. So this topology, it is an Hausdorff space. So we can prove that define in box topology, that is product of X alpha defines a Hausdorff space. Same thing is done in product topology. As we already know that which topology is finer, box topology, it is finer than product topology. So things done in the box topology, same things done in product topology. So same result is done in product topology as the usual way, that is we say that product of X alpha, alpha belongs to index family, is forms an Hausdorff space in product topology. Now see the one of the exercise question, that is to show that a product x1 cross x2 cross x3 cross xn minus 1, this one it is a one space, and xn it is another space, it is homeomorphic with x1 cross x2 cross x3 up to xn. So this one is very simple. For the homeomorphism, we require to show that both the function f and f inverse are continuous in this topological space. Now trivially, the function f from this x1 x2 xn cross product cross xn goes to the x1 cross x2 cross up to cross xn. So we define the elements in that x1 cross x2 cross up to xn minus 1 as small x1 cross x2 cross xn minus 1 cross xn. It is defined as the n tuples. So trivially, this is a cross product of f of x equals to x, f of x1 equals to x1, f of x2 equals to x2. So from this is a polynomial function, and it is continuous by the corresponding 6 or 7 rules of the constructing continuous function. So each one is continuous function, its cross product is also continuous function. So f is continuous function. Now to proving the f inverse, now the f inverse, it is mapping from x1 cross x2 cross x3 cross xn to x1 cross x2 cross xn minus 1 cross xn, defined as like, what is open set? Now x1 u1 is, it is open set in x1, u2 it is open set in x2, un is open set in xn. Then f inverse of u1 cross u2 cross un, it is nothing but u1 cross u2 cross u3 up to un minus 1, this is 1 into un. So clearly each u1 u2 u3 are open set, then u1 cross u2 up to cross un minus 1, it is open set, and un is open set. This implies f inverse of u1 cross u2 cross un, it is again open set. So f is continuous, f inverse is continuous. This shows that the corresponding mapping is homeomorphism. Now the above result, that is f is continuous, then each function f alpha, it is also continuous. But that continuity, it is hold in box topology, but converse is not true in that box topology. And also we check that this result, this converse result, it is not hold in product topology. So f is continuous, then each function f alpha is continuous, it is true in box topology, but its converse, it is need not be true in box topology. Now see the next exercise question. What is closure of R infinity in RW? That is RW, that is we have to find a closure of R infinity in RW in the product topology, and same thing is going to on for a box topology. So first upon we calculate in product topology, that is we have to find out a closure R infinity, which is represented as R infinity bar, which is RW in product topology. Now consider what is RW. Contains a collection of that tuples taking one element, say x1, x2, x3, x4 and so on in RW. Now taking the sequence, that is y1, it is sequence from x1 all remaining 0, y2 x1 x2 remaining 0, y3 x1 x2 x3 remaining 0, yn x1 x2 x3 comma xn comma z all remaining zeros. Now we define pi 1 of y1 it is x1, pi 1 of y2 it is x1, pi 1 of yn it is the first quadrant, that is x1, and so on. Now this sequence is constant and it defines a continuous mapping, that is pi 1 of yn it is x1. Then by the rules for the continuous function, that is first rule, we show that pi 1 is continuous. On the same way we define pi 2 on y1 it is 0, pi 2 on y2 x2, pi 2 on y3 x3, and so on. Pi 2 of yn it is x2. So this sequence going on 0, x2, 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 it is converges to x2. On the same way we can define a mapping pi n on y1 it is 0, y2 it is 0, on y3 it is 0, on yn it is xn, on yn plus 1 also xn, that is we got a sequence 0, 0, 0, 0, xn, and so on. So this is converges to xn. So for the each n, now pi n of yn it is converges to the pi 1 of y1 x1, x2, x3, that is pi n of yn, this sequence converges to xn. So result is hold in this example, that is the closure of R infinity, it is nothing but Rw in product topology. Now in product topology we have the sequence yn converges to x and each yn belongs to Rn, therefore its closure it is nothing but Rw in product topology. Remember the statement, that is product of closure of Rw R infinity it is Rw in product topology. Now what is the closure of R infinity in box topology? Now in box topology we got an infinite points. So here is proof. So in box topology closure of R infinity it is R infinity. Here is a proof. Now the next point, that is metric topology. Here we see the definition of metric. A metric on set X is a function D on X cross X to R having the following properties. First property, D of xy greater equal 0 for every xy belongs to X. D of xy is equals to D of xy is equals to 0 if and only if x equals to y. D of xy it is D of yx, that is symmetry, and D of xz it is less equal D of xy plus D of yz. If the function D satisfy that all these properties, then we define a metric on set X, that is D is a metric on set X. Now see the notation x comma D, it is called as a metric space, where X is a topological space, D is a metric, then x comma D is called as metric space with respect to metric D. Now what are the basis for this metric topology? We consider, given epsilon greater than 0, consider the set open ball of B of D comma D of x comma epsilon. It is collection of all element y belongs to X such that distance between x and y it is very less, that is distance between x and y it is epsilon, of all points y whose distance from x is less than epsilon, that is it is epsilon ball center at X. So if D is a metric on set X, then the collection of all epsilon balls located as these symbols where x belongs to X, epsilon greater than 0, forms a basis for a topology on X, which is called as a metric topology induced by metric D. Okay. So this is a proof to showing that the all epsilon balls forms a basis. That is first condition for a basis is trivial, that is empty set and itself forms a ball and it forms elements of that. Now the second condition, since for every x belongs to X, epsilon greater than 0, then x belongs to that open ball. To prove the second condition for a basis, we first prove that if y be the any element from the basis B of x comma B, this basis is nothing but open ball, then there exists delta greater than 0 such that there exists a open ball having radius delta, which is a subset of open ball having radius epsilon. Here we choose epsilon delta are equal, then we have the containment. So for that y belongs to open ball of x comma epsilon, we choose delta is equals to epsilon minus D of xy. So we have this contentment, that is open ball of y of radius delta, it is subset of open ball of x along the radius epsilon. So we taking a one point, say z belongs to open ball of y comma delta, then distance between y and z are less than delta. So distance between y and z, substitute the value of delta, which is epsilon minus d of xy. Therefore d of xy plus d of yz, it is less than epsilon. This satisfy the another condition of metric. So d of xz, it is less equal d of xy plus d of yz, then d of xz, it is less than epsilon. So this is d of xz less than epsilon. So z belongs to open ball of x comma epsilon. So the condition, second condition of the basis is done for the corresponding element y. For a y belongs to b1 intersection b2, y belongs to b1, y belongs to b2. For each element or each basis b1 and b2, there exists a neighborhood. Say b of y delta 1 is subset of b1, b of y delta 2, it is contained in b2. Then we choose minimum from delta 1 and delta 2, say delta, such that open ball of y along the radius delta, it is a subset of open ball of b1 intersection b2. So this is contained in the b1 intersection b2. This is the basis element which satisfy the second condition for the basis. So we say that this collection, that is collection of all epsilon balls, forms a basis for a metric topology induced by that matrix induced by D. So we can rewrite the definition of metric topology, that is, if we set U is open in metric topology induced by D, if and only if for each y belongs to U, there is delta greater than 0, such that open ball around y of radius delta, it is totally lies between that open set U. So this is an equivalent criteria to check that whether that D is a metric induced topology, and that topology induced by D forms such a type of basis. For example, given a set X, define D of xy is equals to 1. If x is not equals to y, it is 0 if x equals to y. Then D is a metric topology induced is discrete topology. So first upon we prove that D is a metric. What is the criteria for matrix? First condition, D of xy greater than or equal to 0. In two situation, if x is not equals to y, it is 1. X equals to y, it is 0. So first criteria, D of xy, it is either 1 or 0 in whatever situation on x and y. So D of xy is strictly greater than 0, and D of xy equals to 0 if and only if x equals to y. So first criteria is hold for a metric. Now for the second criteria, D of xy is equals to D of yx. Now D of xy, it is 1 if x is not equals to y. If x is not equals to y, this implies y is not equals to x. So D of xy, it is 1, and D of yx, it is 1 if x is not equals to y, and same condition for 0. So next condition, D of xy, it is less equal D of xz plus D of zy. Now in the first condition, if 3 xyz are equal, if 3 are equal, then we have D of xy, D of yz, D of xz are zeros. So it satisfies 0 is less equal 0 plus 0. If 3 elements are not equal, x is not equals to y, not equals to z, then each value it is 1. So 1 is less equal 1 plus 1, that is 2, it satisfies. If x is not equals to y but y equals to z, then D of xy it is 1, D of yz it is 0. So 1 is less equal 1 plus 0. If x is not equals to y, y is not equals to z, also satisfy the criteria, that is 0, it is less equal to. So any condition D of xy, it is less equal D of xz plus D of zy. Therefore D is a metric. Now what is the next criteria or next question? We have to show that this metric topology induced by D, it is nothing but discrete topology. So that topology defined on this metric D of xy, it is either 1 if x is not equals to y, or it is 0. Then all the points, that is all the subsets, are singleton set. Therefore the usual metric, that is D metric, defined as d of xy, it is discrete metric, and the topology induced by discrete metric is nothing but discrete topological space. Okay, so see the next example, that is standard topology. It is also called as standard topology. Now the standard topology on real number r, it is defined as d of xy, it is distance between x and y, that is mod of xy. Then trivially it is a basis, it is a metric, since it satisfies all of the three conditions. D of xy, it is greater than or equal to 0 since modulus is positive. D of xy, it is 0 if and only if x equals to y. First criteria is hold. D of xy, it is equals to mod of x minus y, it is same as mod of y minus x since it is always positive, which is same as d of yx. Also by using the triangle inequality, d of xz, it is less than or equal to d of xz, it is mod of x minus z, it is less than or equal to, add आणि subtract केला आपण x minus y plus y minus z, so it is less than or equal to x minus y plus mod of y minus z. So this standard metric d of xy equals to mod of x minus y define a metric, and it induces a topology which is same as a order topology, because each basis element forms an open interval AB in the order topology is a basis element for the metric topology. What are the basis element? That is the open ball of distance between 2 points, that is a ball having the radius, that is distance between AB, that is B minus A upon 2, and the point A plus B by 2. So this induces the same topology as the order topology. It is a proof. That is an open ball around X having the radius epsilon with respect to the metric space satisfy this condition. Substitute the value of d of xy, it is b minus a upon 2, and solving this condition we have the same basis element, that is the basis element, it is nothing but that open ball. So these two open balls are same, therefore topology induced by this metric and the corresponding order topologies are same. And lastly, we say that X be the topological space. X is said to be metrizable if there exists a metric D on set X that induces a topology of X. That is, a metric space is metrizable space X together with a specific metric D that gives the topology on that metric space X. So, if we define X is a metric space corresponding to metric D, then that space is called as a metrizable space. So a subset A of X is said to be bounded if there is some number m such that distance between A1 and A2 it is less than or equal to m. Here distance between A1 and A2 it is held in usual topology, but the definition for a subset A is said to be bounded if there is a number m such that a D for it is a metric. If there exists a metric D, that is D of A1 comma A2, it is less than or equal to m, where D is any metric for all point A1, A2 belongs to A. That is, if A is bounded and non-empty, then the diameter of A, it is defined to be a number which is supremum from D of A1 comma A2, where A1, A2 be the any real number. Next, see the theorem. That is, X be the metric space with metric D, and define D bar, it is from X cross X to R, be the equation, that is D bar of XY, it is minimum from 1 comma D of XY. Then D bar is metric that induces the same topology as on D. Now it is proof. Now D bar it is minimum from 1 comma D of XY, then it satisfies. It is minimum from 1 or d of xy, and d of xy it is greater than or equal to 0. So d of xy is always greater or equal 0. So d bar of xy it is always greater or equal 0. Minimum from 1 and 0 it is 0. Also the minimum from 1 of d of xy it is 0 if and only if d of xy 0, that is x equals to y. That is, first condition is solved. Also second condition, that is minimum from 1 comma d of xy, it is same as 1 minimum from or d of x comma 1, since d of xy it is d of yx. So d bar of xy it is d bar of yx, Also the third condition is also satisfied in any situation. So D bar is metric. Now to see how what type of bases are held in D bar. The collection of all epsilon ball with radius epsilon, it is less than 1, forms a basis for the matrix topology as the definition for the basis. Now note that the collection of open ball, this collection of open ball corresponding to metric D bar of x comma epsilon, this collection are nothing but collection of all epsilon ball having the radius epsilon less than 1. So these two collections are same, therefore these two bases are same for epsilon less than 1. So D and D bar induces a same topology on X. Now next see the definition of norm. Let x1, x2, xn be the any element, any n tuple in Rn. We define a norm of x, it is square root of x1 square plus x2 square plus dot dot xn square. So we define this is Euclidean metric D on Rn by using that norm definition. So in that Euclidean metric D, D of xy in R2, it is defined in Rn it is defined as norm of x minus y. So it is defined as square root of x1 minus y1 square plus x2 minus y2 square plus dot dot xn minus yn square. So D of xy, it is summation of I runs from 1 to n xi minus yi square raised to half. And we define a square matrix by the equation, that is rho of xy, it is maximum from mod of x1 minus y1 mod of x2 minus y2 up to mod of xn minus yn. This defines a metric. So this D of xy, it is collection of, that is this is norm, and the corresponding D satisfy all the criteria for the metric, and this metric is called as Euclidean metric D on Rn, and this Rn is called as Euclidean metric space corresponding to metric D. So in the next lecture we see the another example for Euclidean metric and the metric topology.